Hey loves, the Brandy Johnson here, and it is actually Thursday, the 10th of October, and I've been racking my brain because probably the last 6 to 8 weeks or so, I've actually been doing lives on Thursdays on and off, and I realized that I had started doing it and I got inconsistent, so I decided today that I will be doing a live on Thursdays intentionally, and I'm going to basically designate it as Real Talk Thursdays. Because something that I found very important is to let folks know my background and what has brought me to the point that I care about my sister queens so much that I want to reach back and uplift those that, again, are overlooked and underestimated. So the point of Real Talk Thursdays is this: to share different decisions that I've made throughout the course of my life that have indirectly or directly affected the trajectory that I currently find myself on. Hey Malak, how are you today, bro? So today, the decision that I'm going to share with you is the decision in which I decided to look forward after leaving Colorado to be free of my ex-boyfriend. Emphasis on boy at the time. I don't know what's going on with dude nowadays. Wishing the best. Don't want to hear from him ever again though. So, essentially, and this ties into other things as well, but essentially, I was a part of a really bad relationship. Highly manipulative, extraordinary liar, just mentally abusive, and it was so unfamiliar to me that I didn't understand what was going on at the time. All I knew is that I had fallen into a relationship based on preconceived notions that I learned based on the friends that I used to hang out with during the time, things that I learned in the media, things that I'd seen from older cousins and stuff. It seemed normal at the time, the things that I went through. But understanding and looking back now, it was definitely way out of place. I had been brainwashed and bamboozled, and I was too young and naive and hard-headed to realize that though I had the right foundation, when we're younger, we just think we're smarter than everybody, especially our parents and those that care about us most. That was one of these situations. So, the crux of the matter was this, and this is how, again, jacked up this situation was. Essentially, I forget how I met dude. It might have been at, I don't know, Skate City or something. And for some reason, I was intrigued by the guy. And the reason why I keep saying guy and dude is because I will not name this person by name. I don't know who this person is or who they've become, but I will not give them any type of undue attention, so to speak. So essentially, this person had went to jail, and I happened to meet up with a friend of theirs at their house, not knowing that they had recently been released. And for some reason in my adolescent mind, and I apologize for saying so much, but that's how I kind of recall things that are older experiences, so to speak. So, dude gets out. I happen to be at his house, and in my young, naive mind, that was a sign that I was supposed to be there. We were supposed to be together. Yeah, looking back on it right now, I'm like, why were you that dumb? But ish happens, alright? Somehow, some way, we start dating. I'm under one impression, but it's actually an entirely different situation. I think he's trying to do his best, but the only thing he's doing is trying to do enough for me not to cut him loose. And that's where the manipulation comes into play. Where I thought that I was trying to help somebody by believing in them and helping build them up, was the same way that this person was taking my naiveness and playing me for a sucker. And again, it was my responsibility to understand that was going on, but I had no point of reference to identify what was going on at that time. Long story short, things start going sideways. I try and break free. He didn't put hands on me, but he did spit on me. And he spray painted my 97 white 97 Ford Taurus bitch, hoe, gold digger, because I had standards, and instead of meeting those standards, he decided that I was a bad guy for having standards as a woman at that time. So, try to leave it alone. Dude was off the chain, so I ended up having to go to court for a restraining order. And we come back again to the manipulative and extreme habitual liar. So, this person was gang affiliated. Might still be, who knows? And I went to court to get a restraining order because this person would not leave me alone. You know, this dude had the audacity to lie his way out of a restraining order. When asked why he had spray painted my car, and when the police finally arrived, was walking towards my car with a baseball bat, he told them that he thought I was calling people to come jump him, as if I was the one associated with the gang. Somehow, some way, they believed him. I couldn't get a restraining order. So in order to try and settle things down, I tried to be friends with this person. Again, bad move. Somehow, some way, I allowed him to talk his way back into my life in a way that was completely inappropriate. We ended up dating again somehow, some way. And again, gave the guy a chance to step up and do right by me. I was working as a CNA, and somehow I had come up short on some funds, so I had pawned my computer. And I let him know, like, hey, I'm stuck at work. For some reason, he was visiting me at the job. I said, I'm stuck at work, and I need to go to the pawn shop to pay this before they close so they don't have the right to sell my property. So, long story short, he says, okay, claims he's going to go pay it. Unbeknownst to me, he didn't have any money. But he went up there and grabbed a receipt, just a pawn shop receipt, right off of the printer, wrote something on it, brought it to me and said, here, it's paid. Me, not being as dumb as I come off to be, realizing that I was dealing with a huge manipulator, I called the pawn shop, found out he hadn't actually paid. He just went up there and snatched the receipt. And in order to appease me, I guess, brought me the receipt saying it was paid, not understanding how very important that this item was to me at the time. The reason why I'm telling you this part of the story is because this led to a fight in which I basically wanted him out of my face, out of my space, just gone. Just leave me alone. I'm tired of you lying, blah, 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 blah. I'm done. So, in order to get away from the situation, I'm trying to get into my truck to leave. And he wouldn't get out of the door of my truck. So, he wouldn't get out of the door of my truck. I felt threatened, so I maced the dude. Psst, all up in the face. He got upset to the point that he tried to drag me out of the truck. And when he couldn't get me to let go for him to drag me out of the truck, he proceeded to punch me in the back of my head. Now, if you don't know anything about me, know this, and I've grown out of this, but at that point in time, I fight dudes. So, we're literally going to blows in the middle of the street, Colorado Springs, Colorado, and some gentlemen are walking out of my job. They see what's going on, and they call the police. And it was shortly before this that my brother had passed away. Now, the reason why this is important is because this incident was the last straw for my family, for my mother and father. When this incident went down, police were called. I was put in the car in order to write out a report. They asked, the job came out, I believe her name was Vera, came out and asked, like, are you taking her? They thought I was being arrested. I just had to fill out the police report and let them know what happened, how it escalated, and why I basically felt the need to mace the dude. Well, you had witnesses walking out of the building that saw him swinging at me. So, thank God, like I said, God had his hand over that situation, and it turned out all right. Something that needed to happen happened. My parents got fed up and they were like, we don't care that you're grown. This is not conducive with your health, and we've already lost one child. You're going to Virginia. when I moved to Virginia, I didn't look back. Most people would move to a new situation like I did, and they would get homesick, and they would reach out to those friends and those family members and some of those old people that needed to be let go at that time. And they would have been so uncomfortable with the new situation that in my case, I got here in maybe February and I had a job by about March, April. I had that job for 10 years. When I got that job, I was making more than enough money that if I chose to, I could have went back to Colorado and jumped right back into the madness and mayhem. And when I'm being perfectly honest here, I almost did. But luckily for me, that whole situation, me having to leave Colorado in order to get out of that very toxic situation, put me in the position that I met and married my husband only a few, well, maybe about 8-9 months. I met him after I moved out here. And yeah. So that is a decision that I made cognizantly, very aware of what I was doing. When I moved out here from Colorado, I didn't look back. I still have friends in Colorado. I still have family in Colorado. I still have associates in Colorado. And I love them all. But the decision that led me to moving here and meeting my husband, and I haven't even gotten to other things. This is just one decision that I've made. This decision was made in 2007. So a decision that I made in 2007, and the reason why I bring all this up, my loves, is because we underestimate the power of our decisions. We make several decisions throughout the course of the day, but there are certain decisions that each one of us make throughout the course of our lives that completely shift the entire dynamic of where our lives are going. And the same way that I made the decision not to look back is the same way that I could have made the decision to go back and try it again. The same way that I made that decision is the same way that my sister queens out here that got it in their minds that maybe it's too late, or I don't know enough, or I'm dumb, or I'm this, or I'm that. It's not true. You just need to make sure you pay attention to your decisions with intention. There are those like me that are out here looking out for you, Sister Queen, because my experiences have put me in a place that I can look at you and understand where your mind might be that leads to certain decisions that when you look back at them, you're like, why the hell did I do that? I'm not going to judge you on your lack of knowledge. I'm not going to judge you based on ignorance because you don't know. But I'm going to share with you the knowledge and the experiences that I've had that have built me into who I need to be in order to look back and properly help you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this share of this particular decision that I made way back when that has basically snowballed into decision after decision after decision, except for now I'm aware that I'm in control of the decisions. And I want to help you understand that you are also in control of the decisions. So I love you guys. I thank you so much. Shamika Willis, a.k.a. Lady Queen I Am. Malak, a.k.a. Shadow God. Antoinette Marie, my beautiful sister queen. Ms. Joy Anciano, thank you guys so much for jumping on. Doc Juma Nashan, thank you so much for jumping on. I hope you guys have enjoyed this first installment of Real Talk Thursdays, and I look forward to your guys' feedback. I need to know, like, is this information that you believe can help, if not you, somebody you know? If it can help you or somebody you know, or if it's something that you can share and know that there are people that follow you that this could help, please share it freely. This information isn't for my entertainment. It's not for hype. It's not for clout. It's because I genuinely want to help my sister queens understand the consequences behind decisions or indecision. So I love you guys. I'll be back next Thursday with Real Talk Thursday. And yeah, bye y'all.